Well, good morning and welcome to Unity of Greater Hartford. It's wonderful to see you all. Just checking. Okay, good. I'm on. My name is Reverend Christine Boylan, and it's wonderful to see all of you, and of course to know that there's others watching on Facebook and on our website. Now, many of you know that we had the opportunity to pay off the mortgage on this church building at the end of 2022, and we did. I know. So we're still waiting. I'm told it could take a couple more weeks for the final documentation. As soon as we receive that, from the bank, we'll hold a special celebration. And we also want to thank all of you. With a few weeks' notice, we put it out here that if you would like to intentionally be a part of paying off the mortgage. Of course, anyone who's been giving the last couple of years has been paying off the mortgage, but just a very intentional way, consciously, to put any change, any bills into a brown box that was specially done up in the atrium. And out of that, okay, not just a couple weeks, we brought in a little over $2,000. So yeah, so I don't want to hear, like we're not abundant. Now, while I don't usually like to point out anyone in particular, I do have to say this because it so touched my heart, and I hope they're not upset that I say this. But many of you know Reverend Raymond Shea and his wife Susan. And of course, they are the ones, along with many other people, of course, who moved the church from West Hartford to here. And that involved clearing land and building. So it was a big thing to do that. I don't know if I would have the nerve to do it, but he did with a lot of people. And I got this letter from him. And it says, "Dear Reverend Christine and Unity of Greater Hartford, we are thrilled to see how well the church is doing and that you have the very special opportunity to pay off the mortgage. We want to help with that effort, like you didn't do enough. Our thoughts and prayers are with you always." And of course, this letter came with a check. So love to all, Reverend Raymond and Susan. So it's just so touched my heart, that generosity of spirit. And that's what's alive in our church, right? That joyful generosity. And I thank each and every one of you. But I have one more person to thank. You might have noticed that all the Christmas decorations are gone. But also that we have a new flower arrangement up here. And I want to thank our member, Susan Wright, for doing that for us. So thank you, Susan, for always making us so pretty up here. Now, for those in the sanctuary, our greeters handed out a Sunday bulletin along with words for our song. And just remember that you can support us in recycling those bulletins and song papers by bringing them out with you. I know. Thank you, Kate, for cleaning up today and getting some of them out there. But bringing those out of the sanctuary with you and putting them in the big basket so we can recycle and kind of also keep the sanctuary neat. And so those who are watching online, please know that if you go to our website, unityhartford.org, and scroll down, you'll see, click here for our Sunday bulletin, and you'll have everything that we have here. So you should have also received a form. Where's my form? Oh, right there. So that I don't leave the camera. Thank you. You should have also received this form. It's called Flying in Faith. Get ready for takeoff. If you did not receive this, no, poor ushers, greeters if you did not receive it, please raise your hand and our greeters will put this in your hand. So we do have a couple people. Thank you. Just so I'm going to ask that you hold on to this because I'm going to be referencing this form in today's talk. And for those watching online, you can download that form. Just again, go to our website, unityhartford.org. And one more up here. And you can, if you go to where we're talking about today's service, Just click through to that, and there'll be a place where you can download that form. And it will also be in this Friday's electronic newsletter, so look for it there if you can't get it elsewhere. If you're not getting our newsletter, boy, you are missing out. What you're going to do, though, is fill one of these out. They're right in the atrium. Fill this out, put it in my door mail slot, and we'll make sure that you get on that email distribution list. So one more announcement. Next Sunday at noon, we're going to hold a short meeting with anyone who helped out with our silent auction on December 2nd. I'd like to hear your perspective on the event, what worked and what didn't work, or what we could do better. And if you're someone who donated a piece of art, but it was not purchased, please feel encouraged to go down the aisle to the Katie room and take that piece of artwork home with you. And if you don't know if your artwork got purchased through the silent auction, you too can just go down to the Katie room and look around and see if your artwork is still there. All right, so I think that's all I have. Let's take a look at that bulletin we were talking about, and because on that bulletin is a welcome affirmation. So let's say that together. Join me. Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. And so here at Unity, we welcome, value, and include all people. So again, welcome to all of you, and welcome to those who are watching on our website, and to those on Facebook. You know what to do. Just, let everybody know that you're there. Send up those emojis. You're the ones who get to talk throughout the entire service. So take advantage of it. Now, last year, our annual theme was Pray First, and we worked with that theme all year long. Now, this year, we want to focus on faith, which is certainly a natural awareness resulting from prayer and meditation. So our 2023 theme is Flying in Faith. And we may, I'm going to just say it again, our monthly affirmation, which again is on our it's in your bulletin, it's on our website, and it's Flying in Faith. I embrace my truth and co-create the life I desire. So I'm going to ask you to bring that affirmation, that consciousness, into our opening prayer. So let's pray. In prayer, I affirm my truth. I affirm that I am the light in the world. I affirm that I am with the one source of all. I am one with God, one with Spirit. In prayer, I open to this truth. I am open and receptive to my oneness with the divine. I am open and receptive to living my truth, to being the very expression of God in the world. I am open and receptive to flying in faith. So as we take just a moment in the silence, we bring this truth to our awareness, to our consciousness, and just dwell in that for a few moments in the silence. I am always one with the divine. I am the very expression of God. I am open and receptive to this truth, to the truth of who I am, and I am committed to living this truth each and every day. And so it is. Amen. And so now I'd like to say hello and welcome to our music director, Carolyn, and to our wonderful choir. And so, Carolyn, what are we going to be singing today?
All right, so we're going to get you warmed up, moving a little bit. Today we're going to start by singing I'm Reaching Out. And we're going to, stand as you're able, if that's comfortable for you, and locate your lyrics that you should have been handed on your way in. And let's join together in song this morning. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, choir. We have one more thing that I have to do before I turn it all. I'm not on. Thank you. I'm not supposed to be up here right now. So I have one more thing that I need to do before I turn it all over to Kirk, and that is to light the Christ candle. Yeah, so we're going to take a moment, and as Kirk lights the Christ candle, take a moment and take that in, that we're lighting this Christ candle, symbolically reminding you that you have a Christ light within you, your divine potential. It's always there. It's always lit. And in just this moment, remind yourself. And so it is. Amen. And now, Kirk, it's all yours.
And thank you again, Carolyn and choir. That was awesome. So good morning, UGH. All right. Just making sure we're all nice and awake out there this morning. So my name is Kirk Smallage, and I have the privilege this morning to serve as your worship assistant. And I have several things to share with you, and I would urge you, if by any chance you've brought with you your January calendar, since we all have new calendars with the new year, you might want to pull those out. The other option is there's also writing paper available in the front of each one of the pews, I believe. The reason I say that is because the workshops, classes, and events for 2023, a lot of them have been developed. and I'm about to share them with you now. And most of these take place kind of down the road away. So you'll also get reminders, I'm sure, in the weekly email. But I want you to really be aware that they're happening. So don't be afraid to take the time to jot them down. Beginning on Sunday, January 29th, and then once again on Sunday, February 12th, Reverend Christine will hold a 2-session class entitled Banking on Your Prosperity. There are flyers in the atrium and information in our newsletter, but this class will support you in having a deeper understanding of prosperity, as well as a deeper realization of your divine identity. Plus, everyone who registers will receive a free Unity Prosperity Bank. I don't think it looks like a little piggy bank, right? No, it doesn't look like a little. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, the Prosperity Bank is, the class is limited to 20 people, so you want to register as soon as you can, and you can do that on our website as soon as today. So, in addition to that, here are some other classes and events that are scheduled but need to be finalized. The class, How to Be a Wick in God's Candle, will be held on 3 consecutive Saturday mornings on Zoom. Saturday, February 11th, the 18th, and the 25th. And this class is based on Reverend Jim Rosemergy's book of the same name, How to Be a Wick in God's Candle again. And that is available to purchase that book on Amazon for $9.33. God knows why the 33 cents is posted on. They can't make it just an even $9, but whatever. And on the online registration should be up by the end of this week on our website, but you should go ahead and order the book, which is all about how to pray for and with others. The next class is entitled The Trance of Scarcity, which already was held in person this past fall and will be offered on Zoom on Mondays from February 20th through April 8th. Those who took it in the fall can register for free, but anyone interested should go and order the book now, as registration for this class will be opening soon. And the wonderful Reverend Kathleen Kerswig will be conducting. Reverend, are you here this morning with us? Ah, there she is. She will be holding a class, and it is a book study class on Zoom beginning in April. And the book that they will be working with is called Celebrate Yourself by Reverend Eric Butterworth, which is a book of positive, uplifting, and inspirational essays. There'll be more to come on that, I'm sure. And we have a special, is it pronounced Kirtan? Ah, Kirtan, I got it right. A special Kirtan event to be held on the evening of Friday, April 14th, and a unique summer solstice drumming circle scheduled for the evening of Friday, June 23rd. And our very own Deborah Giddings is planning an amazing workshop on Saturday, March 18th, and that is titled Power, Spirit, and Grace. And Reverend Paul Hasselback is also putting together a new class just for us here at Unity of Greater Hartford, and that's entitled Spiritual Laws. So you can see that there's a lot happening here now, that these classes have all opened up, and we want you all to be able to take advantage of them. So please continue to keep your eyes on the newsletter as it comes to you weekly, because there'll be more information and reminders on all of these classes. But this does give you a little chance to have a future look at what's going to be going on in 2023 here at Unity of Greater Hartford. And now it's greeting time. And each week, we ask that all of you please remain in your pews as we offer each other the Gandhi blessing for peace, which is a call and response blessing. So if you're able, I would ask that you please stand up. And those of you at home also, if you could stand up. And as you respond, take some time to look at each other around the room. And for those that are online, take some time to look at your friends and family that might be with you, or your pets, or the people in your neighborhood. And of course, this spiritual community. And we'll begin. I offer you peace. I offer you love. I offer you friendship. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. And I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Thank you. And if you'd please be seated. And now I would ask you to please join me in our statement of faith. Together, there is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God, the good omnipotence. Amen. And now I have the privilege to read to you today's daily word, and it is entitled World Peace. And the affirmation is, I rest my heart in the peace of God. Around the world, so many souls are joining me in prayer for peace. While the news may give more attention to points of conflict, there is a striving and yearning in the human heart for peace. My prayer supports that desire and strengthens the bonds of love that lead to greater harmony. I begin my affirmation of world peace with a soft and open heart. I am comforted as I realize the advances the world's people have made over the generations to live together harmoniously. I make an effort to live a peaceful life and bridge the gaps of understanding between myself and those around me. I focus my attention upon our shared desire, a peaceful world of cooperation and goodwill. This is my heartfelt prayer. And the biblical reference, those of steadfast mind you keep in peace because they trust in you. From Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3. And once again, today's daily word was entitled World Peace, and the affirmation is, I rest my heart in the presence of God. Reverend Christine?
Will the ushers please come forward? This is our giving time. And so if you're in the sanctuary this morning, we can certainly accept your gifts in check or cash. If you wish to give online, you can do that at our website, unityhartford.org, and just hit the donate button. And so in this time, in this opportunity to express our gratitude, our love, and our prosperity, we come to a realization that when we freely and joyfully give, that we are opening ourselves up to the abundance of the universe. We are saying yes to the universe. So whatever amount you are guided to give, take it in your hands or hold it in your heart and bless it with your love. And so I'd also ask that you bring an intangible gift to mind, an additional blessing to this community. Perhaps it is of peace or faith. Whatever that blessing is, hold that in your heart also. Let yourself feel as grateful as you can to God in you as your one true source. And then please join me in our offering blessing together. Divine love, flowing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. And so it is. Amen.
This inner space has the power to set me free. It's the palette of creation and the truth of you and me. This inner space and eternity of time. It's the moments of the holy now and the allness that is mine. This inner space contains all that I need. Deep within the invisible flows the living air I breathe. This inner space is flowing in my bones, stirs my heart, stirs my mind, every prayer I've ever known. So breathe, just breathe. This peace, this inner space is the ocean of your soul. When you feel most broken, the truth is you are whole. This inner space connects us one to all. And though it will never push you, it will break down every wall. And breathe, breathe, breathe. This peace, this inner space invites us to renew. In all my endless choosing, I become the chosen two. This inner space, it never knows a past, but in a quiet place, if you can hear it, it might just make you laugh. So breathe, breathe, breathe. This peace of this inner space.
Thank you, Carolyn. That was beautiful. Well, as you know by now, our theme this year is Flying in Faith. And inherent in this theme is an idea of movement, right? Soaring, flying. Last year, our theme was Pray First. And conversely, I felt compelled to pause, to breathe, to just be. And often, after a certain amount of time in prayer and meditation, I would be able to walk in faith and sometimes even soar and fly. And even though faith is a spiritual power that's always available to us, that is unlimited, we tend to take it in as a process. Right? So that when we first even consider placing our faith in the one source of all, well, we might start out crawling, right? And then maybe we'll actually stand up. And then take one step and another step. And then end up walking in faith. And then we might even jog. And then run. And then eventually, we may fly. And even then, we're probably going to experience some turbulence. And we may find ourselves crawling again. Because it's a process. It's a process. Now, the first week in January, I flew to Texas to celebrate with a dear friend, and I flew on Southwest. So yes, after all the cancellations and troubles that Southwest had over the holidays, many people were concerned about me actually getting there, and even if I got there, if I would be able to get back. My only concern was all the connections I had to make, because gone are the days of a direct flight, right? So there were 3 airplanes to get me to Texas and 2 to get me back. So I had a lot of downtime, and I started to notice things that I hadn't noticed before. I was able to observe a lot of the preparations that the flight and ground crew had to go through from my airplane to fly to be approved for takeoff. All the luggage being loaded, not all that carefully. The crew cleaning each passenger seat aisle. Other workers loading supplies for the crew and passengers to use, and then finding they've forgotten something and had to go back and bring that on. There might have been de-icing, fueling up, checking schedules, and on and on. It was a process, and it got me thinking. If this year we desire to fly in faith, what preparations do we need for takeoff? What type of checklist would assist us? And how would we know when we're ready to fly in faith? Well, today when you came in, you were given a piece of paper, 2023 Flying in Faith, ready for takeoff. I'll just offer it one more time, and if anyone didn't get it, raise your hand. I think you got everybody. Good. So I'm going to ask that you have this form with you for the rest of January Sundays. And if at the end, January 29th, that service, at the end of that service, you complete and return this form to me, I will return it back to you with your special wings. Yes, you're going to get wings in the mail that will serve as a reminder that you are ready to fly in faith. Throughout the year, I will be in touch with you personally through email, telephone, and mail to support you in your desire to fly in faith and your longing to embrace your spiritual truth and co-create the life that you desire. But you got to fill it in though, and give it to me. Deborah just likes me always talking to her. But that's what happens. You're going to get some personal attention. So today we're going to focus on the first item on your checklist. And it should come as no surprise that that first step is prayer and meditation. It says, I am ready for takeoff through prayer and meditation. Flying in faith, I am aware of my oneness with the divine as I daily pray and meditate and keep Sunday sacred by attending church services on a regular basis. Now, last week we discussed the use and sometimes the misuse of the two words I am. So just as a reminder, in his book, The Revealing Word, Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that the I am is our spiritual identity, the real or Christ mind of each individual. God is I am, and humankind, all of you, are I am also. The I am is the metaphysical name of the spiritual self, as distinguished from the human self. One is governed by spirit, the other by personal will. Now, Mr. Fillmore also wrote, we identify ourselves with what we attach our I am to. In other words, how do you complete that? I am. Do you say I am whole, or do you say I am sick? And whatever we identify ourselves with, our I am to, we manifest. So now these are his words, hitch, I like that, hitch your I am. Hitch your I am to the star of Christ, and that's your spiritual divine potential. And infinite joy will follow as night the day. Now, last week, everyone was given time to write 5 I am statements, remembering that we are attaching our I am to our spiritual identity. And I gave you a quote from Eric Butterworth. The greatest mistake is believing that we are only human. We are human in expression, but divine in creation and limitless in potentiality. Now, everyone who wrote their I am statement most likely had an expanded vision of themselves. They took a peek at who they are spiritually and who they can be in expression. Now, if you were not here last Sunday, or you haven't taken the time yet to write your I am statements, I invite you, I urge you to do so. These I am statements can be the prayers of your heart in this first item on your takeoff checklist. Years ago, I attended a workshop given by Reverend Paulette Pipe. Many of you might know who she is. And she had several Unity ministers on a panel. She asked them how they prayed, what words they used, or anything else that helped them to pray. Now, one of the panelists said that their prayers were different if they were praying with someone as opposed to their own daily prayer practice. In their own daily prayer practice, they had no words. Their intention was more important than their words. Words often move them to pray for, not from. Words often had them thinking about all the stuff they wanted, or about a desire for changed circumstances. Instead, their prayer was about getting clear about their intention. And with that intention, they went into the silence. Well, Reverend Paulette Pipe said, well, I want to ask you about your intention. What was your intention? Or what is your intention? And that person said, my intention is always the same. My intention is to know the divine and my oneness with it. After that, everything falls in place. I was shocked because I had spent countless hours creating and crafting beautiful denials and affirmations. And now I was told it wasn't needed? What? Well, after my brain stopped reeling, I got it on an intellectual level. But I wondered, would I ever get it on a spiritual level? To let go of all my worldly concerns and replace them with one intention, a deep desire to know that I am one with the divine. Yeah. In Unity, we encourage people to use affirmative prayers, not prayers of begging or beseeching, but uplifting, positive prayers, affirming our truth, affirming our oneness. Again, by Charles Filmer, he says, prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It steps up mental action until our consciousness, our awareness, aligns with divine mind. And divine mind is God. Prayer is the language of spirituality. Prayer is the language of spirituality. And when developed, it makes us masters in the realm of creative ideas. That's why we say with God, all things are possible. And yet, our mind is often clogged with doubt, anxiety, fear, all of our worldly concerns. So prayer, not about changing God, it's really about changing us, or perhaps more accurately, about helping us remember who we truly are. Helping us remember that we are spiritual beings, one with the divine in all ways, in all times. Mr. Filmer goes on to write that prayer is an affirmation of truth that eternally exists, but perhaps has not yet come into our personal consciousness. I know that you have probably heard that we should pray believing that we have already received. And guess what? That is flying in faith. And it is true, since the good has already existed in divine mind. And we can bring it into our consciousness through affirming prayers and meditation. So what special words or beautiful phrases should you use in your prayer time? Well, some or none. Depends on your need. And you might also just try sitting in the silence with an intention. I know. Many of you are going to say, I can't do that. I can't sit in the silence. My mind just keeps chattering on. I have this monkey mind that seems to take over. Yeah, I get it. And when that happens, you just say, thank you. I'm going to be quiet now. And it will drift off. But I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you. First is, there is no such thing as wasted prayer. All prayer is valuable. So whether you do it perfectly, I know there's no one out here who's concerned about that, but whether you do it perfectly or not, it doesn't matter. No prayer is wasted. Okay. Second, no prayer or meditation has a required time. Pray for 1 minute, 10 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever you can do. And you know what? That's going to change. Going to change not just like this. One day you'll sit for 60 minutes in prayer and be amazed. And the next day you'll sit for 1 minute and be amazed. Third, create your prayer intention and just keep reminding yourself of that intention for that 1 minute or for that 60 minutes. Now, I've used the terms prayer and meditation interchangeably. And unity, they often do mean the same thing in our own daily prayer practice. We might begin by saying or thinking a few words and then move into a time of silence. And that can easily be our daily prayer practice, our daily prayer and meditation practice. Your checklist reminds you to pray and meditate first. In fact, to pray first. When you daily pray first, you are living a life from your spiritual truth. And you just might find that you are ready and able to fly in faith. Now, praying and meditating is probably not going to change your demanding boss, your rude neighbor, or your local government. But it may change you, or more correctly, it may help you remember who you are, that you are the very expression of the divine, that you are the very manifestation of God in the world, and with the divine, all things are possible. Now, the very last part of this first step is to keep Sunday sacred by regularly attending church services. Well, yeah, if you're not here, I would miss you, and I would be lonely, but that's not the reason. That's not the reason. It's just helpful to be around like-minded people. Has anyone ever experienced that? Yeah, it's really helpful to be with others who can support you on your spiritual journey. And also for you to be able to support others as they walk on their spiritual journey, to be with them until they're ready to fly. When you attend a church service, especially a unity center, you find that everyone believes in you, believes in your innate divinity and power, and in your ability to fly in faith. So if you ever longed for a personal cheering section, this is where you're going to find it. We in Unity will affirm the highest and best for you, not because we so know you personally, but rather we know you in your divinity. We know that you are one with God just as we are one with God. There is this great Fillmore quote: "I refuse to be anxious about tomorrow or even the next minute. I know that God does provide for the fulfillment of its divine idea, and I am that divine idea. I am that divine idea." So as you prepare for takeoff through the first step on your checklist, remember that you are that divine idea, and prayer and meditation will certainly help you remember. Get ready for takeoff. Namaste. And now we're going to, excuse me, we're going to join together in our Unity peace song. And because I've been up here counting, we're doing really well. So I'm just going to ask that you take a moment and listen to the instructions. And those of you who have done this before, please help people next to you so there aren't big gaps. We're going to do our very best to form a half circle, okay? So that it'll start over here, go around the back, and come up the middle aisle. So everybody on this side, please move to the window and start your circle that will continue all the way into the back. And then everyone on this side, please move to the middle aisle right here. And so just make sure that you spread out, take your time, and you're just going to form a circle. You know how to do that, okay?
It's a U
so
for
listen to
unity.
people who are trying to help you do that. Unless, of course, you're longing for me to cry out your name. But that's it. There we go. Come on. There we go. Thank you, Maria. Keep moving down. There we go. All right. So I'm going to leave it with you, Carol.
Wonderful. I was just saying, it's like a U for unity. Little cheerleaders. All right, let's join together and sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
You can stand if you like, or you can sit if you like. It's unity. Please join me now in our prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you. Now you can be seated. And as we bring this service to a close, Reverend Christine will extinguish the Christ candle. However, we all know and affirm that the Christ light within us can never be dimmed, for we are always one with the divine.
Kirk. And so I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who helped with today's service, and special thanks to our prayer chaplains, for I know they're always holding us in sacred prayer. We have two prayer chaplains here in our sanctuary today, and if they would stand up, Kate and Wendy. Wendy and Kate are available to pray one-on-one with you when the service is over, and so if that is a little intimidating to you, don't be at all intimidated. Just go up to them and say, "Can you pray with me?" And they'll take it from there. Of course, in the pew, in the section right in front of you, where your knees are, I don't know what that's called. There are a bunch of things in there, but one of the things that's in there is a prayer card. And so you also have the opportunity to fill out that prayer card and put it in our prayer box in the back of the sanctuary. And those of you who are not here in the service, you can send us an email with a prayer request, and that email will go to our prayer chaplains, who would be honored and delighted to pray with you, and of course would hold your prayer in confidence. Just send that prayer request to prayerrequest@unityhartford.org. Now, we're also looking to see if somebody would like to take on a particular task. All those wonderful papers that are in front of you in that little pocket, they need to be gone through each Sunday morning, refilled, cleaned out. And so if anyone would like to come a little bit early, like around 10 o'clock or 10:05, to start that process, please let me know, and we would happily show you how to do that, even if you just want to do it once or twice a month. That would be a great help for us. Thank you. Well, there are certainly many others who helped with today's service. Thank you to all, especially our worship assistant, Kirk Smallage. Thank you, Kirk. Our live stream team, Angela, Richard, and Mark. Thank you very much. Marty. Our greeters, Maria and Natalie. And our ushers, Liston and Kathy. And also our wonderful choir, Liston, Rob, Deborah, and Wendy. Thank you very much. So I'm looking to see if there anyone, if this is your first time here visiting Unity. I'm looking around, I don't think I see anyone. All right, great. Oh, there we are. Oh, okay, well, welcome. We're glad to have you here. And Bob, if you could please, we have our ambassador, Bob, if you would please give that gentleman a information packet, that would be wonderful. In that, there's information in there about this Unity Church and about the Unity movement nationally, and there's also that blue card I talked about, so you can let us know if you'd like to be on our e-newsletter distribution list. But thank you so much for being here, for blessing us with your presence. We're honored to have you here this morning. And of course, if there's anyone online and you would like to get that information package, just send us an email. Send it to officemgr@unityhartford.org. But when you do, make sure you include your physical address, because we're going to put that information packet in the mail to you. Thank you for joining us this morning. We also ask that when, after our final song, that you leave the sanctuary fairly quickly and fairly quietly. Join us in the community room for some goodies. And that's so that people who do wish to pray one-on-one with our prayer chaplains have the opportunity to do that in quiet. And finally, many thanks to our music director, Carolyn. So Carolyn, what's our final song today? Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's Deja Vu, actually. So I want to get you all ready to sing this song with us about flying in faith in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to sing it again. You can enjoy that one more time and take some notes on how you're going to sing it. How about that? So this is called Why Walk When You Can Fly? In this world, there's a whole lot of trouble, baby. In this world, there's a whole lot of pain. In this world, there's a whole lot of trouble, but a whole lot of ground to gain. Why take when you could be giving? Why watch as the world goes by? It's a hard enough life to be living. Why walk when you can fly? In this world, there's a whole lot of sorrow. In this world, there's a whole lot of shame. In this world, there's a whole lot of sorrow and a whole lot of ground to gain. When you spend your whole life wishing, wanting and wondering why, it's a long enough life to be living. Why walk when you can fly? In this world, there's a whole lot of golden. In this world, there's a whole lot of plain. In this world, you've a soul for a compass and a heart for a pair of wings. There's a star on the far horizon, rising up in the azure sky. Oh, for the rest of the time that you're given, why walk when you can fly high? So did you get all of that? Thank you so much. I hope you took your notes for next week, because it's going to be you. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. And I'm going to pick up my little thing. We hope you'll join us this Wednesday evening for the meditation service on Facebook from 7 to 7:30 p.m. And please join us next Sunday at 10:30 right here in the church sanctuary or online. Have a wonderful week.